There we go. So we're recording. We can out edit it or whatever else it needs. Tito's the security. I'll be off campus in the Career Center for about 5 minutes. All right. So let me get this down here. That's how it works. Karen.
Can somebody please help Tito? You're gonna break the Career Center.
That's why I backed off. I know my limitations. See? Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha! Yeah.
If I do it in one soup, y'all will be fine.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't owe you nothing. There it is. Ha ha ha.
She just had 3 swips. Damn it.
Dig that. Dig that. So again, first of all, how's everybody? How you guys doing? Good? Okay, again, this is a focus group. We do not want you guys to be shy here. We want your honest and open opinion. We wanted, if we could have to have a discussion, that would be great. So again, explain to you what's going on. We're going to pretty much answer these questions, record it, and we're going to show it to teachers so we can actually learn from it. So this is going to be a learning tool for some of the adults on campus. Okay.
Laser.
No, here, you work the laser. I'm just talking.
You literally just have to play.
Don't embarrass me on camera.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So again, I want your open and honest opinion. This is not a bash session. This is a session to improve and to get better. But if you have something to say that's negative, that's fine. But we're trying to learn from these things and actually do better. You guys agree with that? Okay with that? Okay. So what I want to start doing first is just go around the room. And if you're in a school club, please state the school club. If not, if you identify with, say, a group or a certain personality or whatever, identify that. What we want to show is the diversity of the group here also.
Can you give an example?
How you doing? I'm Coach Tito. I'm a football coach. I'm an African American student on campus.
Okay.
I'm part of the multicultural club. That's it. All right, we'll start with you.
Hello, my name's Tom. I'm a volleyball player and I'm a Mexican American student here at OG.
I'm Lonnie. I'm soccer player, volleyball player, and I ran track. I work with the athletic trainer here, and I'm the team manager for the boys volleyball team. And I identify as African American here on campus.
I'm Natasha. I am a cheerleader on campus, and I've played tennis and basketball before. I'm president of the School Site Council and California Scholarship Federation, and I'm an ASB.
Hi, my name is Julieta. I play basketball. I identify with Crew Club. I'm in part of Crew Club and identify as a Mexican student here at OG.
My name is Jose. I play tennis, and I'm part of the Simon family, and I identify as a Latino.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm a cheerleader and I identify as Mexican American.
Hi, my name is John. I played football. I identify as a white student. Yes.
It's okay to be proud of that, John. It's okay.
Hi, my name is Paulina. I'm a cheerleader here on campus and I identify as a Mexican American.
Hi, my name's Devin. I'm white. I play softball and I'm an ASB.
Hi, I'm Kaya. I'm a dancer. I'm on junior dance company. I identify as mixed race, Native American and African American.
All right, so now that's out the way. What did you say? Stress.
I was like, man, I should have said mixed race.
It's okay. That's okay.
I
So
know it was like,
so again, what all we're gonna do is just give me your perspective on what's going on. Not everybody will answer every question because of time situation. So that's why I have you guys prepared questions before you. But please write your question down so at least we have the hard copy data from everybody. Okay? But those who like call on for each question, then you can go ahead and speak, but make sure you write your answers down also while someone else is speaking. Yes.
Do you have a pen?
Do I have a pen? Yes. All right, so let's jump right into it.
Yeah, I'll grab a bunch.
Actually, we should start from where the screen is. Let's start from number 3. That will explain to you what. Okay? So number 3, the question is, describe the culture at Orange Grid. Again, I gave you a definition of culture. The term school culture generally refers to the belief, perceptions, relationships, attitude, and the written and unwritten rules that shape the influence everyday aspect of how school functions. But the term also encompasses more concrete issues such as physical and emotional safety of students, the orderliness of classroom and public spaces, or the degree on which school embraces and celebrates racial, ethnic, linguistic, and cultural diversities. So, don't want to put anybody on the spot. Who wants to tackle this one first? And remember, it's tutorial. We don't have a lot of time, so who wants to
Okay,
tackle
I'll
it
go.
first? Go ahead.
Okay, so
Speak up so everybody can hear you.
For question 1, it says describe the future at OG, the culture, sorry, not future, the culture at OG, and I personally don't think Orange Glen has much of a culture. I feel like everybody is sectioned off, and I feel like the only culture that's embraced here is the Mexican culture, which is obviously amazing. Like, I'm Mexican too, but there's so much more than just Mexican culture here as well. And like, what was your name?
John.
John got embarrassed to say that he identified as white. He stuttered a lot, and it's not really an okay thing either.
That is a great observation.
You know,
Yes, it
it's
is.
not okay.
All right.
Everybody should feel embraced.
All right, so make sure you write that down in your data. Anybody else want to tackle that now that they have an example?
It's kind of like there's more of a stigma towards a race that isn't the minority that isn't the majority. So, because Latino origins here is the majority of the minority that's here, it's what's like celebrated and embraced the most. And it's kind of like things like if you can't speak Spanish well, or if your pronunciation is like off, or if you don't look Mexican, or if you're not actually Mexican or Latino, then there is kind of like a lower emphasis put on you. You don't matter as much as like when you speak up and you say things.
Please write that down. Anyone else? One more person that want to tackle number 1. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think another aspect of the culture is that it's very like embracing of drugs, and I think that's like an issue we should really tackle because drugs are not seen as like a potentially harmful substance anymore. They're kind of like just viewed as like a fun time.
When you say embracing the drug culture, are you talking about the school as a whole? Like there's not enough to prevent it? Elaborate on
Yeah, I'm talking about just like the schools should be more like should inform more on the topic of drugs than they really are. Because I went to school in middle school in Florida, and over there they had this program that school was a part of that was like really like strict on not strict, but they were really informative on the point of drugs. They would like go over the chemicals. Well, not exactly the chemicals, but the effects of the chemicals in the substances.
So you're saying if kids were more aware of how it could harm you and what's harming you, they probably would back off.
Yeah, or at least like think about it twice.
Think about it twice. All right. Okay. So again, those are all great, but I want to dive a little deeper into this. Like I said, what are some of the unwritten rules and beliefs here? Like, give you an unwritten rule. Why can't we throw our trash away?
There is like a lot of, I guess it's kind of like a shame thing, like if you drop something, it's better to make a joke about it instead of to pick it up.
That's what I'm talking
And
about. That's culture.
That doesn't, I like pick stuff with it.
Yeah, like there's a banana right there on my windowsill and I have no idea why.
Welcome to the group, Karen. Here you are. That's okay. Here, just dive. We'll dive right in. You're just here.
I
Here's.
didn't come for that.
Oh, okay. You came to talk to Karen. Dig that. All right. So, okay, that's great. Everybody else, make sure they write that down so I can have some hard copies of everybody's opinion, and we'll move forward. Anyone else want to talk about the culture here before I go, though? Now that you have another definition. Yes.
Well, I don't know if this like technically goes under culture, but like people have their people, and it's kind of like, okay, you can't associate with people outside of your people. Like it's like you have your friends, and then it's hard, and you can't go in between people. Like you can know people, but it's not like it's just like there's like different factions.
So there are different
Yeah.
cliques. It's
Yeah.
very cliquey here. Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. Hand me those 2 boxes behind you. I should have handed those out earlier.
I don't know.
Oh, I was wondering why it smelled so good.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can grab one, pass it down.
I put wine at the end, I don't know.
I got you guys goodies for coming.
I saw that when it came in.
All right, so that's great. That's great. That's great. Anybody else want to say anything about culture before we start? Before we move on to the next question? This is Mrs. Kramer. She's part of the equity group here too. She's working with me on this. So anybody else want to talk about culture before we move on to the next question?
I want to add something. So I've been to other campuses, not like to school, but to some of their events, such as their dances or their games. And I noticed a huge difference at OG. Everyone here is really kind, and we may not be welcoming to other cultures, or like it may seem like that, but for the most part, if you look at other schools, we're pretty accepting. I feel like a lot of schools are really dramatic. There's always fights, and we used to have fights on campus, but it's
Like
not
when we
as,
were freshmen?
yeah, as freshmen, but it's not as often as it is now. I don't even remember seeing a fight this year. Maybe like once. I don't know.
Black.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the like clickiness is it's more unconscious than it is like other schools it's like conscious. It's like a thing they do like deliberately. Like here it's like unconscious, and it's just about like being more conscious of our behavior, because we're just
Well, that's great.
I also feel that like when we not push kids, but like trying to encourage kids to join more clubs and sports, that kind of, all that cliquiness kind of just dissolves. And everybody is like just cool with everybody. That's because I'm like so immersed in that right now. I've always been like that.
So the more clubs on campus, the more students are involved, the more you get to know each other, so therefore it's less conflict.
Exactly. Thank you. That was beautifully put. That was beautifully put. Yeah.
I listened very well. My daughter and wife taught me. All right, so again, like I said, time constraints, we need to move on. We have 2 other questions. So now we understand what school culture is and determine where we need to be and what we need to be. Yeah. Give me 1 second, you guys.
Five expectations. I feel like this one's going to be the hardest one.
You guys know I'll go ahead and let me know, right? Okay, that's good. All right, so now that we understand that the culture and this, that, and the other, okay, and I gave you an example of expectations. That small sheet is an example of expectations. We're gonna move on to the next question, and that's what 5 expectations should the school have for all OG students?